Hi, Mr. Akshat Tiwari. Hope you're doing well.
Hi, Vangi. Thanks for having me here. Doing good.
Great. And thank you for accepting our invitation to be a part of the Beyond Dream series conducted by the Next Gen Entrepreneur team. And today we are joined in by Akshat Tiwari. He is the founder of Call the Doc. So let's see about his startup, right? So Call the Doc Healthcare Solutions was founded in 2015. And the startup is an online healthcare service aggregator with a pan-India presence. And also they have served more than 2 lakh customers across various medical facilities like delivery of medicines, lab diagnostic services, health and wellness product, and also searching doctors for online consultations and more, and also for allied healthcare services. So, and coming to the mission, it is to empower the consumers and also the healthcare professionals to avail the best appropriate service at the best possible cost. And let us have this conversation with Mr. Akshat itself and know more about Call the Doc solutions. So we're really happy to have you with us today. And we'd like to know more about yourself and also the induction of the startup, how it all started, please.
I'm a chartered accountant by profession. I have nothing to do with technology kind of stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
as they say that need is the mother of all inventions. So that's
Mm-hmm.
how color document the picture. I thought when every part of my life is being managed on my say iPhone or MacBook, then why not the most important part of our life, our health?
Mm-hmm.
So I was working in US for some time as an investment banker with Goldman, and then I was working in London for some time with
Mm-hmm.
Barclays. And then I came back to India, and I thought that this is a big broken piece, and then it's what started as a small project has now been a very
Mm-hmm.
enriching journey. And we started as a search engine platform for doctors,
Mm-hmm.
and then we started diversifying, and we added multiple services like medicine delivery, diagnostics, health
Mm-hmm.
consultations, private label products. So yeah, it's been a very uh, learningful journey,
Mm-hmm.
and still day one here. Yeah.
That's quite interesting, and also to know, how different your experience and education has been, not from the same background and more. And coming to the initiation, right? Always a startup would have some challenges from the financial background. I guess you already have some experience on that. But other things like how it was to, introduce, get introduced to some different industry than your own, and how it was, and also how was the awareness of such platforms when you started, and how it impacted, like what were the initial challenges? You already had some co-founders with you, like peers or more, like, or was it all from the scratch? You build it like one by one and more, please.
It was more from the scratch that I started, but
Mm-hmm.
yes, I was fortunate enough that some pieces fell in place, and
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, I still think that the biggest virtue to success of any organization is patience. You
Right.
have to stay there, you have to stand there. There would be a lot of tailwinds coming up, but if you can wither it out, then it would sooner or later reap you the benefits. So I started as it was pretty much a sole kind of a start, but I got support earlier from a few good incubators. So we're based out of Jaipur, Rajasthan. So we got
Okay.
there was a good incubation center here. There was um, a good, I would say, co-creator kind of an organization which helped us and gave us the ecosystem to start off with,
Mm-hmm.
which helped me to get my first few team members. And yeah, then we gradually grew on from there. Then we raised a series around where investors helped us. There were some marquee investors from the healthcare sector only, which helped
Mm-hmm.
us to understand the healthcare sector more uh, technically in the correct manner. Why it is so important
Mm-hmm.
to take the healthcare outcomes to say accessibility is the biggest issue is what
Right.
I
Mm-hmm.
I got from my investor uh, discussions that
Mm-hmm.
uh, availability of good healthcare outcomes in tier two, tier three is not only a huge opportunity but is a huge need also. Well, I always believe, and so I'm starting to this. The two characteristics which every business should have: first is sustainability, and second is say impactfulness.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
sustainable business. You cannot run a business which is running in losses for like ever, or
Mm-hmm.
you don't have a path to profitability. So we are very clear on that. A, and being a chartered accountant, that helps me
Mm-hmm.
because I'm very unit economics focused kind of a guy.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Second thing is impactfulness, and that is the reason out of multiple sectors I chose healthcare, because
Mm-hmm.
um, so probably there are multiple unicorns or multiple big companies
Right.
which are not impactful on the society. So take an
Mm-hmm.
example of uh, fantasy league or online gaming organization. If they close to tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
it won't impact the society much.
Yes.
But if
Mm-hmm.
we go out of business tomorrow, there would be at least 1,000, 1,500 patients to whom we are serving daily.
Mm-hmm.
At least for a couple of months, 3 months, they would get impacted. There would be more
Mm-hmm.
solutions, but they would get impacted. So yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
the whole idea of getting into the entrepreneurship thought.
That's nice. And also like to see like you started from Jaipur, not from
Yeah.
any other Taiwan cities like, Mumbai or Delhi or more. Like, is there any reason there for that? Or, and also like, was it from like you just started from Jaipur, Rajasthan, and then expanded throughout India, or from the start it was pan-India platform kind of?
So the reason we started from Jaipur is because I'm originally from Jaipur. I'm based and
Mm-hmm.
born and brought up in Jaipur kind of stuff. So yeah,
Okay.
that's my home ground kind of stuff. So that was the reason we
Mm-hmm.
started from Jaipur. Uh,
Okay.
and the second reason we started from Jaipur was because, as I said, the accessibility of healthcare is a big issue.
Mm-hmm.
So you
Mm-hmm.
have healthcare outcomes, healthcare options in tier one metros.
Mm-hmm.
And as when you come to a city like Jaipur, and then when you go deeper down to smaller cities, Jaipur
Right.
is also tier one, two kind of a city. But if you go to tier three, four kind of a city,
Mm-hmm.
you just don't have any options of healthcare there.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the need of the business also. The idea of the whole thing was to solve this accessibility, because it was
Mm-hmm.
not that the medicine delivery was not happening. It was happening. It is not that doctor consultation was not happening. It was
Mm-hmm.
happening. Diagnostic is happening. Everything is happening. But is it reaching to, say, a smaller city person, tier three, tier four?
The
Uh,
penetration till the lower end was quite less before. Mm-hmm.
yes. So that was the whole idea of getting into Jaipur. First, my hometown.
Mm-hmm.
Second, the accessibility thing.
Okay.
And yes, once we started and once we scaled up, once we raised some investment, so now we are present in about 18 cities across India,
Mm-hmm.
across four states: Rajasthan, MP, UP, Gujarat. And when I say
Mm-hmm.
18 cities, the actual presence is over 100 cities,
Mm-hmm.
because when we go to that 18 cities, we cover a periphery of 100 kilometers within those cities also.
Okay. Okay.
So every city is four, five kind of a city for us. So 18
Mm-hmm.
cities is we serve about 100 cities. So if you're sitting in, say, Jaipur, you're
Mm-hmm.
serving cities like, say, Ajmer from here, or say Kota from here kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay, that's interesting. And also, like coming to because you started in 2015, and the need for virtual healthcare and delivery of medical supplies raised a lot during the pandemic time. That's in 2019, like later 2019, 2020, and more. So how was it like? What was the impact on Call the Dog, like the COVID's impact on Call the Dog?
Yeah. So a lot of people think that healthcare got a boom because of COVID, and that's not
Mm-hmm.
correct, I suppose. That's
Okay.
not correct. What happened 2020 for everyone was chaotic,
Mm-hmm.
because for
Yeah.
us also it was chaotic in the sense we were not able to. So just take an example. If you were doing, say, mm, if you would, I'm just taking a random example. If you're doing 100,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
if you're getting 100 orders, we are delivering 90 orders kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But in COVID, this orders shot up to, say, 1,000, and
Okay.
we were able to deliver only 300, 400 out of it. And the reason behind that was because there was a lot of chaos. It
Right.
was
Mm-hmm.
the medicine was not getting
Lockdown.
prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Medicine was not getting prepared. If it is prepared, it's not coming to the warehouse at the time. If it is coming to the warehouse, then the delivery boy gets stuck. So a
Mm-hmm.
lot of chaotic things. But yes, one thing that positive happened in the healthcare sector during this COVID thing is
Mm-hmm.
the perception of the people changed. The perception,
Right.
the consumer behavior changed. Now
Mm-hmm.
people are more proactive.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, the shift has moved from illness to wellness.
Yes.
Uh,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
people used to go to a doctor or take a healthcare advice only when they became ill.
Yes.
pre-COVID. Now they want to be well, and that's why they do a proactive kind of a stuff and they go to a health. So yes, that has helped us a lot, and that is why we have also poured into multiple private label OTC products, which improves the health outcomes of the people. So yeah, that's a shift that has happened in the industry. People have moved more online. There's no doubt into that. But I think so with again COVID normalizing, it's something which is happening in edtech also, that people will majority of it will be staying offline kind of stuff. It would still take a lot of time to move it online. But yes, the conceptual change which has happened is that even at a tier 3, tier 4 city kind of person is now happy to get his whole body done, is now happy to take an ashwagandha tablet, is now happy to take a say a zero cal kind of a food or some multivitamin, which earlier they used to take only when they used to feel ill. See,
Right,
suppose
right.
suppose my grandparents are facing some issue in walking, or they have a pain in the knee, it is only then they take a multivitamin.
Right.
As of today, people in the age group of 45-50 think that multivitamins can be taken if it has no harm into it. So yeah, those have changed.
More traction towards like preventive healthcare, more like wellness and preventive healthcare has increased a lot. Like that's a very big change in the Indian mindset, right? Only when
Correct.
fever, bukar be like when it is above certain level and it stays for 2 to 3 days only, people tend to go to the doctor. So like that is a very big change in mindset post pandemic, I'd say. And also, yeah, like you had a positive chaos, as we can understand, overwhelming orders and more like more on the logistic part to tackle them and so. And also like coming to the Calder Dog healthcare solutions, like the products which you offer, well, is it a holistic platform with all the services, or if you could just mention a couple of points about what products you offer, the platform and more.
So there are two kinds of patients, chronic and acute, and we serve both of them. But our major focus is on chronic illness. Chronic
Okay.
illness is any illness, the duration of which is long, to be
Mhm.
very general.
Mhm.
So say for a diabetic kind of a patient. So what does a diabetic patient wants? A
Mhm.
diabetic patient is taking medicines daily. So we
Mhm.
do that. Now,
Mhm.
every 3 to 6 months, they need a blood test to be done. We do that. Every
Okay.
3 to 6 months, they need to see a doctor. We do that.
Mhm.
And apart from that, as I said, the focus has now shifted in from after pandemic to move people from illness to wellness. So we
Mhm.
do a lot of private label products. So basically, our four fortes that we're doing is medicines,
Mhm.
diagnostics, doctor consultations, and private label. And we are in all the four categories. We are on a marketplace model.
Mhm.
Now, what is a marketplace model to a full stack model is it's a
Mhm.
well, if we just understand it with a quick example, say today we want to order a pizza from Domino's, you have two
Mhm.
options. You
Yeah.
can either call Domino's and
Mhm.
ask for the pizza, or you can call say Swiggy or Zomato and ask for the pizza. So we
Yeah.
haven't do that Swiggy Zomato model. We just
Mhm.
plug and play the players.
Okay, okay. Like a kind of an intermediate kind of, you link the service, direct service to the consumer, and make it easy. And also, it's good to see because we have multiple platforms who do all these services separately, right? So we have only virtual consultation platforms, like multiple ones, and only pharmacy, systems, automation or pharmacy-based delivery systems, we have separate. And how is like the value proposition of Calder Doc, like on the whole, in the framework, we can see that it has combined all the needs for the patient, not to, go for multiple service undertakers and more. And but still there'll be a lot of competition. But how, what is a major value proposition which makes you stay in the market like competitive and more?
See, the only thing that sells in healthcare is trust.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
and in this, and our forte, as I said earlier, is accessibility tier 2, 3, 4 cities.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if we are able to get that trust of the customer by doing the services that justifies the price he's paying for, then
Right.
that trust relationship develops.
Mm-hmm.
And once that trust relationship develops, then you upsell, cross sell kind of stuff to him. In
Mm-hmm.
fact, we don't do it. In fact, we started with doctor consultation, and how medicine came or how diagnostic came and how private labels came is all through customer inquiries.
Mm-hmm.
Customer said, "Sir, you are doing doctor consultation for us. Can you send
Mm-hmm.
us the medicine also which the doctor has said?" I said,
Okay.
"Yes, why not? We will explore it." And then after medicines, they said, "Ki, I need a blood test at my home. Can you do that?" I said, "Why
Okay.
not? We will explore it." And that's how it all
Mm-hmm.
started. So
Mm-hmm.
and that is how we are. I won't say ahead, but we are staying afloat in the competition. Yes, it is a really competitive market,
Mm-hmm.
but uh, getting everything under one roof, being a
Mm-hmm.
one-stop solution for the customer, and especially so as I said, we are not present in. Well, we do have customers, but it's less than I think so. It's single-digit percentage in Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, Hyderabad, Bangalore, kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
90% of our customers are in smaller cities,
Mm-hmm.
and because of them, since the trust has been developed,
Mm-hmm.
well, the concept is very simple. If we don't fuck up, they don't give up, kind of stuff. So if we
Right.
don't do something
Mm-hmm.
wrong, yeah, they are with us, kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So what you call our cohorts, if you get
Mm-hmm.
it, it's like the repeat ratio for us is on the north of 60%, which is like
Mm-hmm.
almost 2.5 times for a normal um, big pharma or big teleconsultation player. So they are in the range of 25-30%. We are in the
Okay.
north of 50%. So
Mm-hmm.
repeat ratios are really high. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the second thing that I'm obsessed with after impactfulness is customer obsession.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
in fact, we have this in our organization. Everyone has to sit for 30 minutes in the customer care department. Even I do
Okay.
that.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That's quite interesting, and also, directly getting the pain points and the needs from the customer, and then solving it and giving the product, like they want and more. That's quite interesting, and also like coming to the you said about the diagnostic lab integration, right? In here, like how is it like the sample, getting the sample and sending? Is it provided by Colorock, or you like you just integrate them with the diagnostic labs on the in available in the certain city? Or you do the sample collection and more, like how does it work?
So it's on a hybrid model. We do
Mhm.
both. What you're saying, there are
Okay.
because this is a business which requires a lot of feet on street kind of a team.
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm,
in multiple cities, well, it is a demand based kind of thing. In multiple cities, we have our own team of phlebotomists who
okay.
collects the sample and then we pass it on to our partner lab.
Mm-hmm,
If there is a small city or a very small town where our platform is not present, then we tie up with uh, a partner there and there
okay.
itself, and they perform into it for us.
Mm-hmm,
So yeah, that's how it is. We also do B2B on diagnostics a lot.
mm-hmm.
And for that also we have a separate team of our own. Majorly every delivery, the every phase of thing is done by us, so
Okay,
that
okay.
relationship is maintained with the customer.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay, okay. That's nice. And also like how was it like to connect all these was it a difficult, for sure there'll be a lot of challenges to connect because you're operating in multiple cities and also in lower, tier 2 and 3 as you mentioned. Initial phases like was there any, what was the most challenging one situation you faced if you could share like anything?
There are multiple challenges that we face on a
Mm-hmm.
daily basis, but
Okay.
I don't know if I have to identify, say, two major challenges
Mm-hmm.
within the organization and outside the organization. So within the organization, I think so. A company or an organization is only as good as its team.
Yeah.
So building a team in a city like Jaipur, although we have multiple people from all the tier one metros and from multiple startups, but
Mm-hmm.
yes, that was a challenge. That is still a challenge. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but for that, I always follow one rule that if I find a team member who
Mm-hmm.
is uh, who aligns with the vision and who aligns with the execution. Even if we don't have a role for him, we take him in, and then we decide,
Okay.
"Okay, let's
Mm-hmm.
see what we need to do."
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's A. Outside the organization, the biggest challenge for us was, um, uh, I think so, getting to know the customer trajectory, because, as I said, the only thing that sells is trust. So
Right. Mm-hmm.
selling trust in a smaller city is because the digital medium is less there.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
because just to sum up, there's a digital journey which happens in the smaller
Yes.
cities. So first you transfer your personal life into it, which is your messaging goes to WhatsApp.
Mm-hmm.
75% of that is penetrated in India.
Mm-hmm.
Then what happens is, and on WhatsApp, you see, then you transfer your social life to internet, which is
Yes.
Facebook and Instagram. You
Mm-hmm.
see videos on WhatsApp and you say, yeah, chalo, let's go to Facebook, and the
Mm-hmm.
penetration of it is 30 to 40% in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, you do your e-commerce life to
Yeah.
your digital. Now
Mm-hmm.
you see a shirt ad on Facebook or Instagram and you buy it and you think that here the magic is happening. I'm clicking something from here and something is coming.
Mm-hmm.
And then comes the last thing where the health tech industry and the fintech industry is the trust commerce. The
Right.
penetration of it is less than 5%. Now, it is. I don't think so. Even you would agree. Probably it would be impossible for you to convince your granddad to shift
Mm-hmm.
his bank account from SBI to say today HSBC.
True.
And or
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
yeah, so that would take time. And
Mm-hmm.
that penetration is very low. So the bigger challenge we faced, in fact, I won't say challenge, it was the best learning we faced,
Mm-hmm.
how we can build in trust with these tier 3, tier 4 cities population.
Mm-hmm.
And we did multiple BTL activities, multiple events, and it's an ongoing thing. It's a great journey. So yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
how I put it up.
That's quite good, and parallelly working, creating awareness, and increasing the acceptance, and also working on your day-to-day, customer journey and more. It's quite interesting and also most challenging. And coming to the most rewarding experience, uh, like as you always have the challenges, also you have the rewarding experiences, right? Like what was a couple of instances in which you felt, oh wow, like this has really worked out, and I kind of you felt really happy and more like any such situation internally in team or customer facing situation, anything if you like to share.
I don't have any one
Be
situation.
multiple, yeah. Hmm.
Multiple, and it's a daily ongoing thing.
Okay.
So one customer satisfaction call every day makes the whole day is how I take it up.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And that's why we at least spend 30 minutes. It sometimes goes even longer, but if
Mm-hmm.
someone of the age of 60, 65, 70 says
Mm-hmm.
ki, I'm getting all these benefits because of you and thanks a lot, so
Mm-hmm.
that thanks makes the whole day. So I think so that is the biggest appreciation.
Mm-hmm.
And the second biggest appreciation that you get is you're creating wealth in the ecosystem. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
you're not only creating wealth for your investors, but there's a team for whom also you're creating
Yeah.
wealth. So you
Mm-hmm.
get a sense of content from that. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, these are the two things that I look up to.
That's nice. And like directly you draw the motivation from the customers itself. As you mentioned, that's quite interesting. And also like coming to the end of the session today, thanks a lot, Akshat, for your time. And from your experience, we'd like to take like two takeaway points for aspiring entrepreneurs who wants to venture into healthcare or any other startup induction, please.
So you want 2 points. I think so. First point I said at the starting of the conversation: have patience.
Mm-hmm.
You need to have a lot of patience. Just stay there, and you will probably find a door will open, but you have to stay there till then. So that's
Okay.
first, patience. And second is be very frugal in your organization.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, whosoever money it is, whosoever time it is, whosoever effort it is, spend it as it's your own. If
Right.
you do
Mm-hmm.
that, you will eventually make an organization which is sustainable,
Mm-hmm.
and like, your predictability will always be there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was quite good, and thank you, Akshat, for your time today. We really appreciate it, and we look forward to see Call the Dog, even the South. So we hail from Bangalore team, so we look forward to see multiple like cities using it and across even the South regions and more. Thank you, Akshat, for your time today. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.